much. You're very kind. Well... Wow, you haven't been out since before Christmas, have you? I can tell. It's Saturday night, it's 2012. Welcome to a brand new series of the Jonathan Ross Show. So, did everyone enjoy Christmas? But now it's January, and of course no one likes January, do they? And I imagine a lot of you are like me, you're on a diet. You're stopping doing all the fun things you did before Christmas, the alcohol, the bad food, the more alcohol. They've got a word for what we do in January where you try and cut back. They call it the Janopause. Okay? That's what we're experiencing now, the Janopause. But experts say it doesn't work because you go through the Janopause, you deny yourself that, and then you just drink and eat even more the rest of the year. This is how it works. There's no point doing the Janopause if you're going to follow it with, and bear with me here, February, Starch, Cake Prill, Malibu, Gin, July Down, then there's All Guts, Crepe-Timber, Choctober, Novemberger, and finally December. What a cheerful start to the new year that was, wasn't it? But weren't the fireworks ready? Did you see the fireworks here in London, the New Year fireworks? They're the ones that especially amazed me, the ones shooting out of Big Ben. I came in halfway through, I thought we were under attack. It's a great picture. No, I don't know what time it was taken, but that is a beautiful picture. Do you know the iPad game Fruit Ninja? Does anyone know that game? It's a fun game. You slice fruit. Fruit shoots up and you have to pretend you've got a sword and you slice it. Well, it's quite hard. I think it's quite hard to play. Imagine how hard it is if you're a cat. Have a look at this. That's great, isn't it? But how spoiled is that cat? He got an iPad for Christmas. Can you believe that? Cats aren't the only animals that love these touchscreen games. You won't believe this, OK? Unless you've seen it already. But we found some footage of a frog enjoying the game Ant Smasher. Have a look at this. Some rare footage there of a frog in its natural environment from the forthcoming BBC series Life of Frogs. We've got a great lineup for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be an incredible year this year with the Olympics coming up in London, of course. I'm delighted to be joined tonight on the show by three of our brightest hopes for gold this summer. Representing the British Olympic team, it's Fran Halsall, Jay Jones and Louise Hazel right there. Hello, ladies. You look great. You look wonderful. Thank you for joining us. I often ask guests this, but I think in your case I know the answer. Have you been working out? They're on the show, so that's Fran Halsall, Jay Jones and Louise Hazel, ladies and gentlemen. They'll be coming out here and showing their stuff. Also on the programme tonight, we have a man who single-handedly made science exciting again. It is Professor Brian Cox. Hey, Brian. Hello. The Prof. Not just a brilliant man, he's also one sexy physicist, ladies and gentlemen. Or as the lady scientists say when they see him, Hubble Bubba.
Hubble Bubba.
Hubble Bubba, you see, it's a bit of a science.
No one ever said that to me before.
Because you've walked past, they're saying it behind your back to themselves, going, ooh, Hubble Bubba. Professor Brian Cox is on the show, ladies and gentlemen. And we've also got one of the best stand-ups in the country on the programme tonight. It's the always hilarious Mr. John Bishop. There he is. John, you're a proper Scouser, aren't you?
Well, it depends what you call a proper Scouser.
Well, someone who talks like you is what I would normally...
But does that mean you're a proper Southern Ponce?
No, you see. What's there any need for that?
You know what I want to do? I want you to... Because what I loved about Brian is when you said to him, you're a sexy physicist, he went... Anyone else would have went, no, leave it there. He went, no, you're probably right, yeah.
But... OK, Mr. John Bishop's on the show, ladies and gentlemen. He is a proper Scouser. I don't mean that in a bad way. And singing on the show tonight, I'm absolutely thrilled that we have her on the programme. She was, I think, the breakthrough artist of last year. She'll be even bigger this year. It's the fabulous Lana Del Rey. Thanks for joining us, Lana. You look gorgeous as well. Now, you might think vending machines couldn't get any more exciting. But listen to this. In America, they've started rolling out smart vending machines, OK? Vending machines which apparently can work out by determining your age. You stand in front of it, it sort of scans you, determines your age and sex just by looking at you, and then decides which of the products it has you will want to buy. That is impressive technology. We have one in the green room. Let's try it. There's the machine right there. Brian, would you volunteer first?
I hope it's not reading my mind.
Is that possible?
No.
Okay, here we go. Put your face there. We'll see what it's got. What is it giving you, Brian?
I think it's a My Little Pony.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you do have a child's face and a girl's haircut, so I'm not entirely...
Thank you.
OK, but you...
I'm going to get you later, you know that, don't you?
Hubble bubble. Let's ask our young Olympians. Ladies, would you set up? Fran and Louise and Jade, let's if you wouldn't mind going up. Okay.
Right, here we go, girls. Cheers.
Okay, what's it got? What's it got there?
3 gold medals. Oh,
No, hang on.
They can't be bronze.
No, that's 2 gold and 1 bronze. That's embarrassing, that is. I don't know. It's a bit awkward, isn't it? Well, you can fight over that yourself. Thank you very... Let's try John Bishop. John, come on up. John, would you like to come up and let's see what it offers you?
God only knows what I'm going to get.
I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm on in a minute, you.
Aye. Well, there you go. It's got you your football shirt that you... There you go. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? It's a Liverpool shirt.
It's a
John,
Man United shirt. If I pick that up, I'll get a rash.
It's a Liverpool shirt. It's the same colour. It doesn't really make any difference, does it?
Like the wicked register, the weird thing.
John.
I want to melt. I'm melting.
Put it on. Put it on.
I'm not putting it on. I am absolutely not putting it on. Lana, that's from me.
Lana, you can have... Oh, there you go.
You can take that back to America. No one will know what it is.
Thanks.
OK, let's get my first guest out, ladies and gentlemen. He is the hardest working man in Liverpool, and that's not a regionalist joke. He does work very hard. The magnificent John Bishop. Supporters in. Good to see you, John. Yeah, I honestly, if I see a red football shirt, I would think it looks the same to me. A Liverpool shirt and a Manchester United shirt looks more or less the same, and I don't understand why you get so upset about that kind of nonsense.
Because I'm childish.
Yeah, well,
because it is. I'll tell you what it is with football, and if you don't follow football, it is ridiculous because you start believing it's more important than what it is.
But because you're passionate about it, aren't you?
Yeah, well, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I keep on trying... I mean, I'm sat in there with one of the cleverest men in Britain, and you think, rationally, it's stupid to invest so much of your time watching millionaires run around, kick a ball, and do the things that you wish you could do. It's like a sporting version of porn, really, because you're watching it and thinking, I could do that, and I'm sure I'd be better than him. From relief, you know you wouldn't be.
But he's from Manchester, and I guess, Brian, are you a Manchester United supporter?
He's from Oldham, isn't he?
Oldham Athletic, primarily.
OK. But, Brian, on the quantum level, all football teams are basically the same, aren't they?
Everything in the universe that can happen does happen. Therefore, there is a world, there is a universe in which Liverpool will win the league this year.
Yeah.
Where it is.
Unfortunately,
just not this one, is that
I'm
right?
not living in it, so if you can get me that car from Back to the Future, I'll find me somewhere to park. Let me get back there and watch it.
OK. How was Christmas for you? You're away with the family, I guess. Did you have a good Christmas? Any family traditions that you have?
Well, not really. Well, you keep on thinking you've got a family tradition, and then it changes because the kids grow up. We've got one that we've maintained, which is to try and not have an argument before 2 o'clock. And,
on Christmas Day?
Yeah, so Christmas Day, not have a fight before 2 o'clock, but you can feel at half-1 the tension building, because everyone's thinking, I can punch someone in half an hour. So we've kept that going, but now, you know what it's like, we were talking before, you've got teenage kids, Christmas isn't the same. I mean, like, I come downstairs and there's just people in the house I've never seen before. They just seem to stay for days, eat stuff, and then piss off. And I think, who are they? And none of them ever sit there, and when you walk in the living room, they never say, hiya, or how are you, or thanks for having us. They just sit there watching your telly. And that's... I mean, they don't all do that, because some of them are girls.
Lana, if you didn't shake hands with John just yet, I'd leave it for a couple of hours.
I've got to be honest, that green room there was so funny, because me and Brian had sat there trying our best not to be pervs. It was...
Ryan's gone off to sort himself out already on a lot of people. I do apologise, ladies.
Hey, somewhere in the universe, Brian's having a brilliant night.
We'll find out. We'll find out whether those neutrinos can travel as fast as says. But you're a vegetarian, aren't you?
I am vegetarian.
You're a vegetarian, so wow, there's a lot of love for the vegetarians.
Yeah, there is. That's a couple of horses who have come in.
Can you? So what do you do Christmas Day? Because are your boys vegetarians?
No. Because I've been vegetarian now for 26 years.
So what turned you? What made you decide not to eat meat?
I was working in a hamburger shop.
Is this going to be upsetting for the rest of us?
No, it's not. It's not. I was working in a hamburger shop in Guernsey called Chicken George. So,
you've really got around a bit.
I was living the life.
How are you working in Chicken George?
No, I wasn't working there, John. I was running it. I was Chicken George. I was the manager, which meant that whilst I was there, in Guernsey at that time, you phoned up the farm on Monday and collected the meat on Wednesday. And I basically walked into the wrong room at the wrong time on the wrong day. And
so you saw the part of the food chain that most of us try to avoid looking at?
Yeah, I saw the bit where I saw the bit just after the cow had been killed.
Yeah.
But it still had enough life in its eyes to look at me and go, this was your fault.
Oh. Did it know you were Chicken George, do you think?
I had the T-shirt on. I said it wasn't you, I came for the chicken.
So what do you eat Christmas Day? What do you have?
So basically what happened on Christmas Day, I went to my father-in-law's and they'd done a great spread, and I had a sort of phyllo pastry with cheese and spinach.
That sounds nice. That sounds like
nice food.
That sounds like you got the better deal.
You don't go around eating grass.
Well, no, I know you look healthy. So I just wonder whether you got a kind of tofu-based thing that looked like a turkey, like a tofurkey.
Yeah. We should make a load of tofu and model it to look like a turkey.
Well, you can buy a tofurkey. There is such a thing as a tofurkey.
No way.
There is. My daughter loves a tofurkey. And don't make a joke about that.
I'm not saying anything about your daughter and a tofurkey. There is honestly a tofurkey.
There's a tofurkey. She ate a lot of the tofurkey. And I tried a bit of the tofurkey, and I tell you, it was one of the best tofurkeys I've ever tried.
Oh, I bet. I've got to be honest, I wasn't expecting a conversation about a tofurkey tonight.
Can I be honest with you?
The tofurkey market after this show will go through the roof.
I tell you what, you never mind Chicken George, you want to be Tofu Tommy. You want to... Hey, congratulations on your Saturday night show. Are you watching John Bishop on BBC on Saturday nights, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
It's doing great.
It went well. It went very good. It was good.
And the tours are doing great as well. You're doing a bigger one this year, is that right?
Yeah, I mean, what happened is I did the tour last year, the Sunshine Tour, and I finished it, and I wanted to take time off, but then it's just... stand-up is just what I do. I
didn't see the new tour. I've got the DVD, OK? And someone tells me at the end, there's a dance. You do a choreographed dance routine, and I didn't think you were the type who would want to end a show on a dance, so I love the idea, but what's...
Choreographs is a stretch. I had an argument with my sons about Saturday Night Fever, and Saturday Night Fever being the brilliant film that it was, and for our generation, fantastic film, you see, John Travolta movie. So I had this big argument with them, and that's part of the show. And when you're doing shows in arenas, you want to finish off on something good.
A big showstopper idea.
So I thought we'll finish it with me doing Saturday Night Fever. And what was brilliant about it is that when we were doing the arenas, I got 20 dancers in, and one of my sons, the 15-year-old, he was one of the dancers.
So, because he dances, doesn't he?
He does dance, and it's been brilliant because I've got 3 boys, and the other 2 play football. And so as a dad, I've always been engaged with them. But because he dances, I've never had that same connection with him, which is difficult because you can't. I mean, as a dad, you can't go and watch your son dance and go, "Get your leg up! Pirouette! Pirouette!" And you can with football, so you never have that engagement with him. So when I got this opportunity to see if he wanted to do it, he did it, and so he danced with the professional dancers in front of, 10,000 people a night. It was brilliant.
And how was your dancing on stage?
Terrible.
OK. You are, I think, a fit-looking guy for your age. You keep yourself in pretty good shape.
I'm doing a bit, yeah, okay. I'm doing a bit.
Because you're training for something. I know you can't give too many deals away, but you're training for something pretty big this year.
Yeah, and I'm doing a challenge for Sports Relief, which...
It's a big thing, isn't it?
It is, and obviously we're not saying anything until it's officially launched, because it gives us a little bit longer to see if I can actually do it. But it's a challenge, and it came about because James Corden actually phoned me up about 6 months ago and said, do you want to do something for Sports Relief next year? So I said, yeah, let's have a chat with them. We had a chat with them, we came up with the challenge. The challenge looks great, it looks like a bit of an adventure. And then unfortunately, James's play has really taken off.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be around.
Because he's gone to New York in the play.
Yeah, he's going to be over in Broadway. So I said to Sports Relief, well, that's obviously we're not going to do it. And to which they said, well, unfortunately, we've got a commission from BBC One. We've got a sponsor. We're going to put the money towards these vaccines, £5 vaccines, which save children's lives. We're hoping that we might raise somewhere close to £1 million, which will be about 250,000 kids' lives saved. So, but you don't have to do it if you don't want to. And it's just like saying, you know, how big a twat do you want to be? So I said, all right, then I'll do it. So at the moment, we're moving towards it, and hopefully we'll make it.
But you've done a lot of on League of Their Own.
Yeah.
You do. Every week they make you do some kind of a challenge.
Yeah.
And we got a picture of you here, and you can see Jonathan Peterson said this is you swimming. You're doing a diving challenge. Although you can see.
Let's have a look at that picture.
Which of those three men is sucking his gut in the most?
That was so unfair, that picture. Because I tell you what they said. Do you want to come and do this 10-metre dive with Tom Daly and Jamie Redknapp? Which is just like saying, do you want to show the world how fat you really are?
But you seem to have a tan line there.
Yeah, so what happened? I was with Jamie the day before, and the day before, Jamie Redknapp had a bush of hair all over him. And I said, there's not a chance. He said it might be there tomorrow, it might not. So I was staying in a hotel, and the hotel had this bar. So I went in, I said, listen, love, I've never had a spray tan. I said, look, white as a sheet. I'm going to be stood next to Jamie Redknapp sound. Do your best. So when you get one of these spray tans as the bloke, they put you in these Bermuda shorts. So I'm stood there in these Bermuda shorts. I tell you, they give me that cosy. Look at the state of it. Don't I? I look like a Battenberg cake. Look at the state of that.
Hey, good luck with the tour. The tour's not until September, though, is it?
No, not until September. So I'm starting writing it, putting it together, getting back in all the little clubs, pulling it, which is brilliant. And
best of luck with Sport Relief, because that's it's a lovely thing you're doing, and it's a real challenge. And I know they do, it's like they do with David Walliams, other people, they take you right outside your comfort zone. And I know it's a big thing to commit to. So well done for saying yes, and the best of luck with it. Mr. John Bishop, ladies and gentlemen. Great stuff. Thank you, man. Awesome. Stay there. Join me after the break. I'll be talking to Britain's hottest Olympic hopefuls right there. Professor Brian Cox will be out, and we have music from Lana Del Rey. Don't go away. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. Now, one of the silliest things about the new year is that the bookies start offering loads of crazy bets about this time, about what's going to happen in the next 12 months, what will happen to celebrities in the year ahead. For example, you can actually get 41 odds on whether Catherine Tate will marry Jason Orange this year. OK, you know, they'll be going out together. And I think that'll be a great ceremony. Can you imagine that? Catherine, do you take that? It's as simple as that. But the craziest bet has to be this. You can currently get odds, not making this up, you can get odds of 500 to 1 on Wills and Kate naming their baby Jedward. Who would put money on it being called Jedward? £1 right there. But I love Jedward. They're too low. I'll tell you why I love Jedward. They text me Jedward, OK? They've got my number. And I think they've only got one phone between them, which is, I suppose, makes sense because they're always together. But they sent me a text at New Year which read, Happy Jedmas, J to the O to the Nathan, Jonathan Rocks, and then they put in brackets Ross, in case I thought they'd spelt my name wrong. It's time to get my next guests out, who in just a few months will be doing us all proud at this year's Olympics, which is just, you know, it's going to be so exciting here in London this year and all over the UK. First, though, before we meet them, let's see them in world-beating action.
Good shot from Jones. Youth Olympic champion. She adds British International Open.
Very good start from Fran Helsel in 3. Fran coming back. Fran head down. Is she going to get the touch? It's going to be mighty close. Who's got it? Fran Helsel's got it.
It's Louise Hazel. Another personal best.
To be British, please welcome Fran Helsel, Jay Jones and Louise Hazel. Lovely to meet you. Hello. Come on in, grab a seat anywhere. Fran, hello Jade. Lovely to meet you as well. Come and sit down. Wow, well, you are indeed very, very beautiful young women. We didn't say we want just great-looking Olympians. We just said, send us through your best, and imagine how happy I was when I unwrapped the bag that you came in. So let's establish what your sports are before we go. Jade, you're Taekwondo.
Yeah.
Fran, what sort of swimming do you do? What length do you do?
I do the 50 and the 100 freestyle.
OK, and Louise, you're the
heptathlon, that's right.
And let me start by asking, how did you get into the sport? Was it all as kids? Were you encouraged by your families?
My granddad got me into it when I was 8, just keep me off the streets and be able to defend myself. And I just fell in love with all the flashy kicks and spins and knockouts.
And did he do Taekwondo himself?
No.
He just was street fighter? No. So he just thought this would be a good pursuit for you, a healthy thing to do?
Yeah.
OK, and then you knew straight away you had a talent for it? You got into it straight away?
Yeah, I just loved it from the word go.
There's a picture of you. Is that you in the middle there?
Yeah.
OK, wow. And let me ask about the swimming. Presumably you swam when you were a kid as well?
I didn't really like it. I hated swimming. Yeah.
What did you hate about it?
I didn't like getting my hair wet.
Well, you can get a cap, though. That keeps it dry, doesn't it?
Well, no, not really. And then, split ends, it's horrific. Okay. But, yeah, I didn't really like it, but my auntie used to swim, and she had loads of medals up at my grandma's house, and I used to just try them on. I was like, I want to get myself one of those.
So your auntie was a sports person as well?
She swam at national level, so she competed at nationals, and she had all county medals, so that's my competitive nature took over.
And let me ask about because the heptathlon,
yes,
that's a kind of number of different, I believe 7, isn't it?
Yeah, 7 events.
So was there 1 or 2 that you liked best, and then you found your way into the heptathlon? Or?
Well, I started at my local club. My dad took me down, and I realised that we started in a distance group. I realised the sprinters were doing less work, so I went and joined them. And then once I started winning sports day and stuff like that, it just took off, really. And we just added a little bit of long jump, high jump, just to keep me busy and under control. And
presumably you've all been training over Christmas?
Yes.
You can't let up. So is that tougher this time of year when you have to... Because you know it's imminent, and it must be very exciting that it's coming so close. But is it harder this Christmas, sort of, to keep training?
Yeah. I mean, I swapped this year. I didn't have any mince pies. I just had 2 bottles of Baileys instead.
The liquid diet, that works for you. Did you give up anything?
No, but we did extra training to make up for the fact that we were going to eat so much.
Yeah.
Our coach kind of knows we've got sweet tooth, so we did an extra 8K every morning, every night to make sure that we could be in.
Swimming, you can just, because you're being held up by the water, that's the easiest sport of all, isn't it? And Jay, Taekwondo, I guess, because presumably you like the actual sport itself. You enjoy kicking people.
Yeah.
So the training must be fun, isn't it?
There's a lot of, like, weights in it and things like that as well, but... Yeah, there's a lot of kicking people in the head.
And is it nice when you actually kick someone right in the head? Is that a good feeling?
Especially now, because it's 3 points to the head, so you just try and go there as much as you can.
And you swing right round and really catch them, don't you?
Yeah.
Have you ever killed anyone?
Not yet.
Not that you know of. You know, I haven't done any professional fighting for years, but... But I did try and do some years ago, and man, it was hard. Just even doing the boof, boof like that was pretty tough. But would you be good against a man in Taekwondo, do you think? Do they have mixed Taekwondo?
In the training, you spar the lads as well, but in competitions, it's just the girls.
Who do you think will be best against you at Taekwondo, of me, John Bishop, or Professor Brian Cox Hubble Bubble?
I'm saying the professor could be a bit of a dark horse.
You think the professor could be the best?
That's what I like. Yeah.
Okay. I think we should... Do you want to... Let's have a... We should have some taekwondo at the end of the show. I think because I know we have the pads in, let's see which one of those two you can hit hardest in the head. I'll offer myself up initially as practice, but bear in mind, this is what we call the money. OK, so... Let's do that, yeah. Guys, you up for it? Should we try some taekwondo?
I'm up for that, certainly.
OK.
In another universe, yeah.
You're going to do it, John. Do you have any kind of special preparation, rituals, any kind of things that good luck things you have to do before you take part?
Yeah, I have what's called the big shave, which I'm sure you'll understand, won't you, Fran?
Yeah,
it's
gotta shave down.
Yeah, you save up all the body hair, you know, leave it a couple of days, and then the night before you just literally whip everything off.
Hang on a second, because John's trying to show no emotion whatsoever.
You can't tell you how difficult this is for me.
So let's get back to the big shave.
Yeah.
So, do you not shave for... Do you let the hair grow a bit first?
Yeah,
Use it together as well.
Yeah,
It's like a team thing.
It's a ritual. It's a whole girly thing. And we sometimes... No, we don't shave each other, but...
So, but you have to be for... Is this for speed, for running or something?
Well, I like to think it's for aerodynamics, but you just want to feel good,
yeah,
smooth.
I like that, yeah. Feel fresh. You know, the serious thing, and I know this is a big issue, and there are lots of kind of issues which maybe they didn't have in the early days of the Olympics and more prevalent now, which is drug testing, for one. That's a big thing about people taking any kind of thing that can enhance their performance. How does that work? How often do you have to do a drug test? How close am I? Because that can be immediate disqualification, can't you, if you're unlucky there?
Yeah, I mean, the procedure basically is just pee in a cup. And if you're really unlucky, they'll take blood from you. But we have a situation whereby you have to give an hour every day of where you're going to be so that the testers can come round to your house, your training venue, and you have to make yourself available. If you miss a test, that counts as a black mark.
So this is for all of you. You all have to say, I'll be free for this hour.
Yeah.
You might as well just chip us or something so
Yeah.
then it'd be easier.
So that must be nightmarish, and if you miss it, I guess I mean, that must be a real cramp. I guess do you always give them the same time every day, or do you...
I do. I tend to give, like, 7:30 till 8:30, because that's when I'm, you know, going to get up in the morning.
You know you're going to be available.
And you're going to need the wee.
Yeah.
So
I suppose...
it helps, yeah.
Because I don't know if ladies get this, but men get this thing sometimes. If someone's watching you, sometimes you just can't go.
Yeah.
But they also... I've had ones where you have to tuck your T-shirt and your bra, put your trousers around your knees, and then do a 360 with your arms out to make sure you've got nothing.
Jesus Christ, woman, do you not realise the effect you're having on me and John right now? Even the physicist is crumbling, and he's a scientist. He knows the medical words for things. So do they watch you to make sure you don't cheat?
They've got to make sure they literally crouch down and are in there to make sure see it going in the pot. It's horrendous.
Yeah, it's always women, though. We never
we never have a bloke doing it.
For a second, I thought I found a vocation. Let's talk about the social side of it, because I've heard that in the evenings, the athletes, especially those that have performed, they like to party. There's a lot of partying going on. Now, obviously you haven't all been to the Olympics before, but if you've been to other big sporting get-togethers, is that what happens? Will the Olympic Village be the place to be?
Definitely, yeah.
So it's kind of full-on?
Full-on is probably an understatement. Wow. It's wild. It really is. It's like a cattle market. And the thing is, when you're in a village environment, it's not just, for example, athletes. You get the swimmers, you know, you get the wrestlers.
Hold on, swimmers aren't athletes?
Well, you know,
you hear that was a diss right there,
no,
girlfriend.
you know what I mean, you know what I mean. They're just jealous because we finished first week and can party more.
It's true, it's true. But basically what happens is, as everyone tends to finish their competitions, the parties start. And more, in fact, the chatting up just goes on in the canteen, you'll find.
Wow, so they let their hair down, they let their hair grow back, and then they go out there and they're single and ready to mingle. Right. But so are you in relationships? Are you single, girls?
I think I'm heartbroken at the moment, yeah.
Oh, no.
Vulnerable but available.
Wow. you met your partner...
At the Olympics. Yeah.
So will you be trading him in for a new one in the UK Olympics?
I think so. See how well he does.
But he's a sports person as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he plays hockey. He's on the national hockey team.
And Jade, single and looking to kick someone in the head on a regular basis in a meaningful way?
In a relationship, but still looking to kick
Wow.
someone in the head. Really kick him in the head.
Listen, how lovely. Thank you all for coming on the show. And not only is it inspiring to see the work you put in, how good you are, but what lovely company as well. Ladies and gentlemen, will you join me in saying thank you to Jade, Louise and Fran for being here? And Jade, we'll see you at the end of the show for some tickets. Thank you so much. I think, are you staying? I'm just doing... All three of you stand for now. OK. So stay tuned for the end of the show when Jade will be ruthlessly demonstrating her taekwondo skills on me and on John and Brian. Well, you're going to see a taekwondo expert kick a world-class physicist in the face. But after the break, I'll be chatting to Professor Brian Cox. We've got Lana Del Rey doing music, and she'll be performing the brilliant video games right here, so don't go away. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get my next guest out. He's made all of us marvel at the beauty of the cosmos in his brilliant TV series, Wonders of the Universe. It is the enthralling Professor Brian Cox, ladies and gentlemen. Professor, how nice to meet a professor again. That's good. So you can insist people call you Professor, I guess, couldn't you?
If I were that way inclined,
Yeah.
it would be ridiculous.
Yeah,
though,
it would be
wouldn't
quite ridiculous, I guess. So, congratulations, you're Professor Brian Cox, OBE.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, last year.
That's a wonderful thing.
Thank you.
So, here's the thing. It's 2012, OK, and some people are concerned because there is this thing floating around about this Mayan calendar, and their calendar ends in 2012. I don't know if it ends on a particular month or date. And some people are saying that means that's the end, that's when it's going to end. Is there anything in that at all? Is there anything in physics that would bear that up?
It's catastrophic drivel of the worst possible kind.
So why did it stop in 2012? Why did it stop? Do you know why? Was there a reason for that?
They had a complex calendars, these interlocking cycles, and they were very good at maths, and so they had calendars that last 10,000, 20,000 years, and they just started one at some arbitrary date in the past, and it rolls over on December 21st, 2012. But some people believe it, and I actually get quite a few emails from teachers saying, can you just tell my class that, because, you know, they've stopped working, they think that it's... So it is actually... it's not the... Yeah,
that's kind of brilliant. You know what? I don't need... There's not going to be any work after December anyway.
But it's the worst kind of pseudo-scientific shite, and that's the last I'll say about it.
You know, you mentioned, you said the Mayans were great at maths, but you weren't great at maths, were you? You failed your maths A-level, didn't you?
No, I failed it. I got a D, which
That's
is...
a fail. A D means you didn't pass.
I mean, the thing was that when I was 18, I was just... I'd already joined a rock band, and I was just kind of crawling to my A-levels, and I thought, I'm not going to... I love doing physics, but I'm not going to really do it. I want to be a musician.
So you didn't think that was your future, then? Because that's you... which one of you... Where were you there in D in there?
That'll be Tony Blair and me on the left. Actually, I think I look a bit chubby there, don't I? Enjoying the rock and roll lifestyle.
And did you enjoy the rock and roll lifestyle? Did you enjoy it to its fullest?
I don't know. I mean, that's not my first band. The first band was a rock band from Oldham.
They were called Dare.
Dare. Although we had a member of Thin Lizzy in it, so it was kind of always semi-professional. But we were just lads from Oldham. We got a record deal. We recorded an album in Los Angeles at Joni Mitchell's house.
Wow.
We toured with Jimmy Page, Gary Moore. So we had a good time. We were a bit innocent. We were a bit, you know...
How old were you then? You were 17, 18?
18, 19, 20, that kind of age.
And so Physics Lost could well have been the world of rock's, well, not necessarily a big gain, but it would have been... Because you were OK, but you weren't spectacularly gifted, were you?
Dare were a bit late. This is, what is it, 1988
so
or something
Dare
like
were a rock band, but a new romantic sort of rock band?
No, we were like sort of the Oldham Bon Jovi, is the best way you could describe
well,
it.
Hold on, let's let that sink in, because that sounds like that's what we're missing right now. The Oldham Bon Jovi.
Yeah, it was hairspray, leather jackets, jeans. Well, this is at the time, if you remember 1988, when it was the Happy Mondays, and it was, you know, it was that whole sort of renaissance in music in Manchester. And we were just about 2 years behind, I think. So we were an early 80s kind of hair rock.
But I love how pro-Manchester you are, because you are the Professor of Physics for Manchester University, is that right?
One of them.
OK, but you have other jobs as well, because you're doing the stuff for the BBC, you do a lot of TV stuff now, and it's always great, and we'll talk about stargazing in a minute. But you're also involved with CERN, with the Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
Which is the big underground fun fair just outside of Switzerland.
Look at that picture.
There we go. That's wow. Look at that.
That's actually the end of one of the detectors. That's a camera. It's a digital camera, but it's a 20 metres high and 40 metres long.
Wow.
And it's one of the two big cameras that take pictures of these the collisions, which recreate the conditions that were present less than a billionth of a second after the universe began.
And these are neutrinos crashing together. Is that right? Or
protons.
Protons. Okay. And they recently they think they may have discovered something you've been looking for. Physicists have been looking for a long time.
Yeah,
it's called the Higgs boson particle.
It's an incredible story. I mean, this thing was first dreamt up as a theory back in the 1960s by Peter Higgs, who's a Scottish physicist. He's still there in Edinburgh. And it was just for mathematical reasons, aesthetic reasons, a sense that the universe should be beautiful in some sense. But I don't think even he thought that it was just an observation of some beautiful part of physics.
And could you put it in layman's terms as what that observation was?
Well, it's to do with the universe is full of a field called the Higgs field. So it's stuff. You can imagine, I always call it cosmic treacle, and people's laugh, but that's essentially what it's like. Everywhere in the universe, full of this stuff. And all these particles get their mass by just interacting with it as they move through the universe, which sounds bizarre. What I find amazing about CERN is that we take those theories so seriously that we build 88 countries from around the world get together and build the biggest machine ever built, 27 kilometres in circumference, to look for this thing.
But you know, well, here's one thing I want to ask you in particular is you talk about the science of the past, and I enjoyed the lecture I went to very much, and I've been enjoying your book. I've got Brian's... and I'm enjoying as much as I understand so far. I'll be honest with you, I read very slowly, and I read it a couple of times, so I finished the first chapter. And I do know, so I understand that part, but then it gets quite complex because it goes on more about, and I know you try and simplify it for us, but it is hard for people to keep. So when did it become clear to you that you could understand this stuff? That even though, you know, I know I'll probably get it one day, for us it seems hard to make that leap.
You know, it was way back. I mean, I'd always been interested in, I didn't know it was called physics, but science, the stars, astronomy, as far back as I can remember. And I think, you know, the great astronomer Carl Sagan once said that children always ask these questions. Like, why is there a universe? What is time? Where did the universe come from? And then they're miseducated in a way. They're told that these are childish questions and they should leave them alone, and adults don't think about those things.
I guess because we can't change them.
But they're real questions, and we are beginning to answer them.
I'm excited about... I was lucky enough to be invited along last year when Dara O'Brien and Brian Cox were doing stargazing live on the BBC. Yes, an inferior channel, but it's worth watching it for that one thing. And you're doing it again. Is it January the 16th?
Yeah, 16th, 17th and 18th. But it's an hour and a half of live astronomy.
And it was great fun to be part of, but it was great fun to watch as well. I saw something because you really helped popularise that sort of thing, but who doesn't want to see what's going on up there? And some of the images you showed us and some of the theories that were forward were fabulous. What's in store this time?
This year we did a lot of solar systems, so stuff about the planets last year.
Because it's more than one.
This time more than one planet, yeah.
More than one solar system.
There is absolutely hundreds and thousands and billions of them. Probably we discovered 1,000 of them now. But we're going to do distant objects. We're going to do black holes. We're going to do things like galaxies.
White stars.
We're going to do one on the moon, and I believe we're going to talk to one of the Apollo astronauts, which will be brilliant. So, because that's one of the things that I grew up with that inspired me to go into science.
We have a clip from Stargazing. This is back in January on BBC Two. If you didn't see it last year, and I know it was very, very popular for them, so most people did, but if you didn't get a chance to see it, make sure you watch this year. Have a look at this.
No star could shine that brightly. So what could that possibly be?
The astronomers called it a quasi-stellar object, or quasar for short, because they didn't think it could be an ordinary star. But black hole theorists knew of one way that stars could appear that bright, and that's if they were falling into a black hole. Stars falling into a black hole would be completely ripped apart. Gas and dust would be torn from their surfaces as they spiraled inwards at tremendous speeds, and emit so much radiation that it could be seen right across the universe. And that means we could detect it here on Earth.
You know, I loved watching the show. I love hearing you talk about it. I've enjoyed trying to understand the book. After the break, Brian you're going to be electrocuting me, essentially.
Yeah, I'm going to describe how the Large Hadron Collider works by passing about 500,000 volts through your hair. OK,
well, after the break then, Brian will be electrocuting me. We'll have music from the fabulous Lana Del Rey, and, as I said, Brian and John Bishop and me will be fighting to the death with Olympic hopeful Jay Jones. Don't go away. So I'm speaking on this mic because we had to take my microphone off. Oh, by the way, welcome back. Before the break, Brian said he was going to electrocute me. I'm now on this mic because my microphone would have been destroyed, apparently, or could have been damaged by the electricity you're going to force through me now.
There's a small risk.
So I'm standing on...
As with everything in life.
I'm standing on a glass plate. The minute I came on there, I touched Brian and I got a shock already.
got a shock,
So this is charged up already. There's stuff going in me already.
Yeah, it is. It is. But what we're going to do is we're going to turn this thing on.
OK.
Because the Large Hadron Collider, it needs something like 7 million volts for the Big
And
Bang.
how long do they run this thing for?
It runs for hours at a
So
time.
their bill must be, their electricity bill must be enormous.
And I wanted to show you, is this on now? It's not on yet, is it?
I don't know
Is
whether
this
it's on.
No,
It looks to me like we're being sponsored by Ann Summers tonight.
There it is. This. My hair's sticking over as well. Look at that, see?
Take the lights down a bit.
So can you... I can feel my hair going up already. So you see that there? This is only about, at most, 500,000 volts. Right. So you can see that there. Look at that.
I don't really care for that.
See that? Okay. So if you can imagine it, you would need at least...
So if I touch it now, it'd be scary.
The ambulance is there, you'll be all right. But so you'd need at least 1 million of these. Even if you could do it, you need 1 million of these to get to the energy of the Large Hadron Collider.
Can I just say to any kids watching, if you hear this noise coming out of Mummy and Daddy's bedroom, don't go in. They're doing an experiment.
So we could just turn it off for a minute. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just let it discharge it slowly so you can put your hand on it.
It doesn't look like a scientific thing. That's a bit of wood. It's a broom handle.
500,000 volts.
So it's dispersed in there?
Yeah, so you should be able to pop your hand on it now and you should be all right. I hope. So, no, you're all right now. You're all right.
Ah,
right.
OK.
Now we're going to turn it on.
What?
Now we're going to turn it on. You're all right because you're on an insulated thing. So now we're charging you up to something like 500,000 volts. And there's a strong electric field in your hair. Imagine... Imagine 1 million of those. Imagine 1 million of those. So this is essentially the technology behind the Large Hadron Collider. That would be a bad thing.
Why? What happened if I touch you?
It would hurt me.
Okay, well, that's OK then.
So I think we can... There you go. I can discharge you there. We can turn that off now.
Oh.
And you're OK.
So I'm still charged up?
No, you're charged down now.
I'm charged down now?
Yeah.
Right. So if I shook your hand, we'd be OK now?
Well, let's give it a go. Probably not.
Okay. What do you mean probably not? So I'm still charged up?
It's going to hurt this.
But I'm tingling. I'm tingling.
You don't look charged. We can do it the safe way, which is to do this. That's health and safety.
Do I look like Jedward?
Or we can do it the unsafe way, which is for me to grab your hand and it'll be quite painful.
But how do you feel about that? Should we give it a go? Who would be painful for both of us?
Go on.
Let's do it. OK, let's do the fist bump. All right? Wonderful Professor Brian Cox. Thanks to all my guests tonight. Stay tuned now to see Brian John and me take on Jade in the arena of Mortal Kombat in Taekwondo. She's getting ready for us right now. Next week, I'll be joined by Emma Thompson, Brooke Shields, and no like himself, Paddy McGuinness. We'll have live music from Florence and the Machine right here as well. But first, her new single, Born to Die, is out in a couple of weeks, but right now is a special treat for us performing the brilliant hit Video Games. It is the amazingly talented Lana Del Rey.
Backyard, pull up in your fast car, whistling my name. You open up a beer, say get over here and play your video games. I'm in your favorite sundress, watching me get undressed. Take your body downtown, honey. Well, I say you're the bestest, leaning for a big kiss. Put your favorite perfume on. Go play your video games. It's you, it's all for you. Every little thing that I do better than I ever even knew. They say that the world, it was built up for two. Only worth living if somebody is loving you. And baby, now you do. Swinging in the old bars, singing with the old stars, living for the fame. Kissing in the blue dark, playing, pulling wild dots in video games. He holds me in his big arms, drunk and I'm seeing stars. This is all I think of now. We're watching all our friends fall in and out of old calls. This is my idea of fun, playing your video games. It's you, it's all for you. Everything I do, I tell you all the time. Heaven is a place on earth with you. Tell me all the things you want to do. It's only worth living if somebody is loving you. And now you do, yeah you do.
You like John?
I can't fight again.
Go on, Coxie. What a stretch. Wow, wow. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Wow, wow. Ow. Dave's going to give Taekwondo gold for us. Thanks for watching, everyone. Good night.
At last, it's back. Meet our skating stars for the first time, all of them hoping to be crowned champion. Dancing on Ice returns with 15 new celebrities tomorrow at 6:30 here on ITV1. The news is next.